So we started. Uh, so we started with basic device configuration. You should know now. The 3 password, message of a day, password encryption. It's something you know. The switch. What is a switch? What is inside? How to configure VLAN, inter-VLAN routing, inter-VLAN routing, STP. If you have many switches interconnected, how to elect the big boss, the manager. You know, Ether channel. If you want to combine physical links in logical. And DHCP and all these. So yeah, uh, please remind me to do to call the city hall for Mowbray to get maybe 2 extra meetings where we can practice the last. Yeah, so always, so even if we finish with the course, it will be open again for you for, yeah, for how many months? For 3 months. So you can go back again, study, do your stuff. So the last 3 we go to combine in one. It's only one thing. I don't know why school decided to cut in 3. It's about routing and IP static routing. And we can continue at Ccna 3 with this routing stuff. So I'm going to open a packet tracer and I'll just do a short demo and yeah, not a big deal because when we start Ccna 3, we'll do that again, plus continue with Ccna 3 is here. We continue with routing. It's more routing and security, how to secure stuff. Then a bit of network management. So it's an international course, international certificate. You can get job anywhere. Okay, so you know what a router is. A router is important if you want to go to internet. Without a router, no internet. You can zoom in. Where is that guy? If I zoom in, so a router is used to go to internet because inside the route there is a list of networks he knows. For example, you're at the taxi rank, you want to go to somewhere Muizenberg, you don't know how. You ask the security guy or the router. They say, "Hi, sir, I'm going to Muizenberg. What to do?" Say, okay, I know how to go to maybe gate number 5. So he's there to guide all the packets where we want to go, the router. So always a router is connected to. We also know why we need a switch is to link many pieces, many devices in one place. Here come here. Sorry for my voice today. I feel very cold. Okay. So normally this is a network. Uh, You have your devices and devices, intermediary devices, and the cabling. So today's session is about static route. Let me go back to my list. Since I need to is here. So open this one. And if I go down. Anytime you have questions, you can ask them. Okay, static route. So inside the router, we have what we call a routing table. Like in the switch, we have MAC address table. How to view it? You open your router. So remember, with Packet Tracer, you just click on the router. But in real life, as you know, if you want to configure the router, you must use a console cable, like we do in the labs. You console it, you console, you open your PC, you go to Teratem, Teratem is a terminal, then you could view inside your router from the PC. Okay. So from my PC, I can see the router. So what is inside the router? You tap enable, show IP route. So that command will allow you to view uh, all the routes the router knows, or all the path, all the destinations the router knows about. So when you tap show IP route, it will display normally some stuff. So in front of a route, there is a code. See, if you see S, it means this route has been added in the routing table via static routing. I'll show you an example shortly. No, it's not this one. Yeah. So the routing table is a list of destination or networks to guide the packets who want to go to a specific destination. So we have two ways for the router to know a route. You as the network engineer, you can add manually, you can configure. If you do so, we call it static route. So you go for job interview, they ask you, what is the difference between a static route and a dynamic route? What is the difference between a static route and a dynamic route? Then you say a static route is manually configured or added by the network engineer in the routing table. Dynamic routes, uh, dynamic routes are added automatically by dynamic routing protocol. It is a system to automatically, so you can manually add or automatically or dynamically add. So if you add manually in front of that route that is added, you'll see S. If it's automatic or dynamic routing protocol, you'll see O or D or R. Let me show you an example. So this is an example here. So IP route, you're going to see all the routes. So if you see C, it means it's a directly connected route. If you see L, it will interface of the router. I'm going to show you a demo now. So you see this guy, you see this route. This route has been added manually. That's why you see S. It means static route. I'm going to do a demo now so that you can see. So let me quickly do a demo so that you can see, you can understand more. So we go back to our router. Yeah, we come back here. Now here I'm going to take two routers, one router here, another router. Yeah, I put the two routers on top. I put a switch down here, another switch here, and two PCs. One PC, one PC, one laptop, one laptop. And I need to connect them. So I take my cabling, you connect quick. Someone was asking if for the exams, I should also add packet tracer exam. So let us vote. We are in democracy. Who wants for the exams to have two exams, one for the quiz and another one for packet tracer? Who agree for?
Hey, Mr. Mark, that day I didn't say that we must have an exam. I asked if it will or we will have packet tracer. Hey, Mr. Mark, don't say that. Oh, oh, oh.
No, because the way you're asking, it's like you want it to be there. And I was so happy. And I was even congratulating you for that good. Uh, so now what do
No,
we do?
Mr.
We
Mike,
can't say,
it's because I wanted to know for the time because we are voting for the time. If we have packet
mhm,
tracer, we need more time. Yeah, just it was just because of that. Hey, Mr. Mike.
because there is an exam for packet tracer. It me, I don't activate it. So I'm going to show you. So I feel like activating it. Therefore, you are the only guy in the meeting today. Is going to decide. For the exams, should we do two exams? One quiz and one packet
You'll get me
tracer?
killed.
Hello, Mr. Max.
Uh,
Yes, it's fine. We can do both.
ah,
Yeah, we can
therefore
do
you're a
the
man.
quiz and we can do the packet tracer.
Shakira, are
Are you
you
sure?
okay?
Yeah, it's fine because no, we can't run away from problems. We have to get solutions. So it will help us. It will be beneficial to us. You understand?
Shakira,
It's not
Shakira,
it's not
please do
gonna
more
be
exercise
benefit
at
to
home.
us because it's
Please
Eh?
an exam.
do more exercise at home, Shakira. You will know it.
If it was
Mhm,
exams,
No,
it's
we are
okay.
doing
Not
But
in the
we are
exam,
doing
exam,
it
please.
at home, but just to test our minds
pardon.
what we are doing. There's
Test
no
it at
there's
home,
no
mhm,
problem of
Shakira.
doing it as a exam or a test.
No,
What's
Mr.
the
Max, not
problem?
in the test, please.
Why?
mhm,
You can give it as a
mhm.
homework, but not in the test.
Why is it very difficult?
Yeah. No, it's not.
Shakira,
It
All time.
it easy. Okay.
What if now you go for an
Okay, I'm going to
interview
think
and
about
they
it.
give you for packet tracer?
no problem. That is interview.
Mhm,
This is a exam.
mhm, mhm.
Okay, Mr. Max, you can go with
Exam.
the
Yeah.
majority. If they don't want
Yeah,
it,
because for
it's fine.
grading.
Mm.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, let me come back to Tefo again. Tefo, what do you say?
What will the format look like then, Mr. Max? Will it be
Tefo is
on
the only
separate
guy
days,
in the meeting. So you see, for your
or will it be the same
certificate,
day?
you have your final exam, uh, you have your chapter exam, Yeah, yeah. Totally separate days. No, no, totally separate day, and this that one you can do it 4 times. 4 times. So you see here, normally for grading, you have your final exam. You have a chapter exams that cost for 40%. Then, but to practice it not in, and with skills exam, I put it 0% because I remove it. I remove it. But yeah, you can try. I'll activate it, but I won't count. I won't count for the grading, so that
Okay.
you
That's
could see by yourself how it is. For example, I'm going to open one for you. I'm going to open one for you. Okay, I'll
Mr. Max, I can't.
show you that a bit later. So I'll open it for you, but it's not for grading. You can play around with it. Anyway, but you should know how to do always config. So let's go back to our so we here and we have two PCs with the IP. We
Mr. Max,
have
I can't see your.
this one. We also have these interfaces. If you can't see the network, yeah, because I'm sharing and yeah. Yeah, so if you understand, only you want. So try to log off and log on because everyone is can see. So other sorry guys, I got disconnected. I'm going to share again my screen. Okay, confirm you can if you can see my screen, if you can hear me properly.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank
Yeah, I can see it now.
okay, great. Okay, so this is a network. You have this area, or we can call it. I'm going to put something. In fact, let me put it a bit far. On this side, a bit far, yeah. So we have two places. The left, we want to communicate with the right side. So if I add IP addresses, let's check together. This one you know how to do now. I'm adding the IP addresses quickly. Mhm. I keep everything like that. Okay, I did configure for the PCs. Now for the routers, I'm going to do that also. So I have two interfaces, enable, conft, interface G001, IP address 192.168.20.1, 255.255.255.0, no shut, and I exit. I go to the other interface, interface G000, IP address 192.168.10.1, 255.0, no shut. So I did configure the root interface for this guy for router 1. I go for router 2. I type no, enable, conft. I go to the first interface, G000, interface G000, IP address on top 192.168.20.2, 255.255.0, no shut. I exit, I go to the other interface, interface G001, IP address 192.168.30.1, 255.255.0, no shut. So now, if you want to view conft host name R2, do copy, run start, and show IP interface brief. So I have my two interfaces that are configured. We up. I go to R1. I'm going to configure the name, host name, R1. Do copy, run start to save, exit, show IP interface brief. Okay, so I have my two interfaces that are there. So when you configure your two network, you have two cities, the west city and the left. If I want to view the MAC address for the switch, show MAC address table, here it's the routing table. So here is show IP route. You can say route or network or destination. Show with destinations that you know. If I press enter, you see. So I know two destinations, you see, 10.0, and I also know 20.0. If I come here, my router 1, I know this anything related to here, and I know, you see, 20, anything relating to between. Why I know them, you see, I have C in front, and I have C. C means what? Because they are directly connected to me, I know them. You see, if you see L, it will in the IP address of the interface, 10.1. So this network is directly connected, and the IP address of G000 is L. You will see L. So get a look quickly, 1 minute, and I continue.
Mr. Max, please, are you recording?
Normally, yes. Let me check. Yes, it
Okay.
shows that this call
Thank
is
you.
being recorded. Okay. I hope it's being recording. I hope so, but it showed that it's recording. Let me come here and see.
My computer is dead. I'm using the phone.
Okay.
That's why I'm running away from work
Uh,
processor.
okay, no problem. No problem. Yeah, so a router, if you are directly connected to the router, he knows about you, and it will put C in front. You see, directly connected via this interface. This other route 20.0 is directly connected via the other interface. But router 1 doesn't know the 30.1 is far here, doesn't know. So if it doesn't know, these PCs, they cannot ping. Let's try. We close it. And from PC, I'm going to ping a remote PC. It will reach, it will be written destination unreachable. Why? The router knows only this area 10.0 network, and yeah, but it doesn't know that's remote. So for these guys, left side to communicate with the right side, the router needs to know the destination. So we need to take that network and add it manually in the routing table. We call it static route. It is this chapter we are doing. How to manually add a remote network to a router routing table. So to do that, we close here. We continue with our terminal. What's that? Oh no, I didn't use a console keyboard, so I can just click. So if packet tracer you want to configure, you click on the router. But in real life, you might take a console cable from the PC to the router. So if I want to add a remote network, because I want to configure, I go to conft. Then to add the remote network, there is a command IP route. I'm adding a route. I'm adding a destination. What is that destination? It's, you see, this one, 30.0. So I'm going to add 192.168.30.0, the whole network, subnet mask 255. Now via what? So I'm adding this one in the routing table via the next hop. I'm router one here. This is the next hop to reach here, or the next router to reach here. So the next router, I add G000, this interface, you see, via this. So let's check via 192.168.30, no, dot 20.2. Press enter. This is how we add a remote network in a routing table. So you type IP route, or I'm adding a destination. What is that destination? This is it. We subnet mask via the next hop IP. You see. We save, do, copy, run start. Do show IP route. So now you see S in front. You see what that remote network has been added. You see S, it means static. It means it has been manually added. I'm going to the other router, router 2. I'll do the same thing. Router is directly connected to 30.0, 20.0, but it doesn't know 10.0, the remote one. So we're going to add it inside via the next hop. That is R1. So I'm R2. If I want to go to this network, I need to go via this router. So it will be interface of G001. I open my router. First things first, I type show IP route. I can see that I know 20.0 between router 1 and router 2. Why? Because it's directly connected. I know the network facing the PCs, the LAN. Why? Because it's directly connected. But the file, the other one, 10.0 is not there. I don't know about it. So I need to add, because I want to configure conf t then IP route, the remote network 192.168.10.0, 255, 255, 255.0. So I'm adding IP route. It means I'm adding the remote network, this is subnet mask, via to reach. If I'm here, I want to reach, let's say this guy want to communicate with this one. So it goes first to a switch, you go to a router, now he need to go via another router to reach. So via the next router interface G001. So we add the IP address of G001, 20.1. I see. Via 192.168.20.1. I save, do copy, run, start, do show IP route, do show IP route. You see now I see S. S means static route. I myself manually added the remote network. So now if this PC want to ping the remote one, let's check. Previously we couldn't. Now let's try again. Sometimes it takes a bit of time. Let's check. You see now. I will try again. You see now we can communicate. That's all for this chapter. You should know what a router is. What is inside a router? We have a routing table. It's a list of network or destinations. How we add it here, if you see C, it means because it's directly connected, so you know automatically. We can add a remote network manually. We call it static route. Okay. At Ccna 3, we're going to see how automatically routers can add remote route. We call them routing table. So this one that you see, it's for Ccna 3. How to automatically add it. So this one we'll do at Ccna 3. So that's all for this chapter. Even chapter 1 to the last 3 chapters, it's this one. You see, that's all. Anything else is extra info. So I have a question for you. You go for a job interview, you put on your CV, I know CCNA. They ask you, what is a static route? What are you going to say? What is a static route? We tell you if you,
Mr. Max, I can try.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a destination that we added manually.
very good. Manually, you must add manually. Destination that you configured in the router manually. Very good. That's all.
Static routes can be useful for network administrators.
Sorry. So you're saying? So if
I
you go to
was saying is a static route which is manually configured route in a network routing table that
yeah, it's not,
specifies it.
yeah, it's not configured. It yourself you have
Mm.
to add. So if you go to chapter 14, we're going to explain a lot of stuff that you really don't need. You can maybe read to have an idea, but I try to make it simple for you to understand. Sometimes we add too many things. When you finish reading, you're lost. You don't know what. But if you know what I did in 20 minutes, that's all you should know. Anything else is extra info. Just read, that's all. But, so you see here the same demo. Mm. So you should know the basic configurations that you know, the 3 passwords, encryption that you know. Verify, you should know there's a show IP routes, it's the new one. And routing table, directly connected, static, and dynamic. Dynamic will do in Ccna 3. The next, so L, C, S, you see S, what we do today. O is something else, dynamic. We'll check that at Ccna 3. And then we're going to explain, if you see O in front of a network, it means it had been added via, okay. So I try to make it very short and simple for you. If you want, router 1 is here, you want to add a remote network. So in router 1, the config is IP route, the remote network via the next hop interface. That's all. Nothing else.
So, Mr. Max, you can retain just like a static is a manual and a dynamic is automatically.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's exactly that.
Okay. Okay.
That's why here I did put it here. Ccna. I need to close some of my stuff. So before we start, roots can be added manually. We call them static root. You'll see S in front. Or root can be added automatically or dynamically via dynamic routing protocol. And you'll see O in front for OSPF, D for EIGRP, R for RIP. Here I'm going to change automatically. So manually, we call it static root, you'll see S. Automatically via some protocols, dynamic routing protocols. We're going to share a database. You see. That's all. If you know this one, that's all. In NetAcad, we ask so many, we're going to add extra things, you can get lost. But what is the main thing you should know? Now, to add a few things. So if you want to add a root, IP root, remote network, subnet mask, we have a next hop IP or my exit. Okay, this one we'll do that later. Before we start, so after your exams, before we start Ccna, I'll do a demo for here. Else, maybe on Tuesday, I can quickly. So for static root, we have 4 types. We have a standard static root. It's what we did. We have a default static root. If I don't know where to forward a packet, I send it to my ISP, my internet service provider. Then you add this IP root 000 space 000 next hop IP address. If I floating static root is a backup root. In case I don't have ESCOM, I can use maybe something else for electricity. So you see here, the first line is my normal line. In case it fails, I have a backup, the second one. And we see there is a 5 at the end. If you configure and you don't add anything, it's by default, it's 1. If you put a static root with a higher number at the end, it means it's a backup. It must be, that number should be more than 1. It should be 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, or what we say. Yeah, so this one quickly on Tuesday, or maybe before we start Ccna 3, we'll do revisions static root, and we continue with dynamic routing. I think that's much better. So for now, just keep in mind that static root is manually adding a remote root in the routing table. That's all. Yeah. So let us make it simple, short. And before we start Ccna 3, we'll do a quick revisions. Then we do the dynamic one. So yeah, just try to understand what we did for static root. That's all. Any questions? So today is our last meeting for Ccna 2. Today is our last meeting for Ccna 2. Now the exams is you have 2 weeks free. So your exam will be, I will open it Friday morning and I'll close it Saturday the 26th, I mean, in 2 weeks time. So please, you have 2 weeks to finish all your chapter exams. And yeah. So if there is no question, so this coming Saturday, we don't meet. It will next, the 19th, Saturday the 19th, we meet again at Sea Point Hall. So please tomorrow remind me if you can book 2 days, the last 2 days in September for Ccna 3 for me to show you some few stuff. Well done, guys, for Ccna 2. You made it. Congratulations. Now take your time to do your chapter exams. And when it's time to open the exam, I will let you know. And then you can do your exams. Any questions before we close this session for today? We close the meeting for Ccna 2. No questions. Okay, thank you much. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good evening and